I genuinely didn't think at the beginning of the year that we would actually go down.
Our most direct winger is a child. At the very least, someone from the team has decided to publicly take some accountability. Hey guys, welcome back to the TBG podcast. Jordan and Graham are back for another week. I'm just a little upset about the result today. So we may actually, to be fair, we're both probably going to be really upset about this weekend's results. Let's talk about the West Ham game.
Well,
I know you didn't watch all of it because you just couldn't put up with the last half an hour, but what'd you think of it? What do you think of the end of the season here? What are your feelings about relegation right now?
there's a reason I'm wearing a gray shirt.
You just know West Ham kid on.
No, I couldn't do it. Yeah, no. I mean, worst possible scenario. Uh,
Yeah.
More than likely, I would say it's probably. I mean, you saw what I put on my story too, but it's
Yeah.
it's
You sent me that a while ago, yeah.
it's probably 95% confirmed we go down. I would say right now. I think my biggest thing was the lack of courage from the players today. There was no drive, and then I turned it off as soon as the third goal went in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the biggest thing for me, I've told you before too, is just end of the season we have to win games, get points. Obviously, Arsenal, that was a tough blow as well, but 3 games, 3 losses. I think we scored today. I didn't even see the goal. I think it was a nice goal from what I've read. But yeah, worst possible scenario for us, and it's now officially out of our hands because I think is it.
It's for sure out of your hands because Tottenham just need a point really, and you guys can't make up the goal differential in one game for
Yeah, so
sure.
pretty much a tie would be what it means. It's yeah, like
It's
99
not
point,
mathematically done, but
but
Tottenham
yeah.
realistically they just need one more point, and they go away to Chelsea, which is typically a pretty difficult game for them. But again, it's current form Chelsea.
Well,
Um,
Chelsea haven't won it. I think 6 or 7 games. So
no, they drew against us, and before that they lost six on the bounce in the Premier League, and then they're coming off of the FA Cup loss as well. So uh it's a lot it's going to be a lot. Like it's completely out of your guys' hands. You guys have to win at Leeds on the last day, and then you have to hope for Tottenham to not draw here. But I think they've actually turned a pretty decent corner with what's his name, who just came in. Finally, they turn a corner. Um,
Debrizzi or whatever. Yeah, I think I don't know. They've hit form now. They've hit form now, which is, I mean, one. I think they had their last game was 1-1-2, but I don't know if they lose tomorrow. You never know. I don't know who they play in the last day though.
Everton. I think they have Everton at home. So
Okay, so
again,
I
like
mean,
it's not a bad. It's not. These are not like pushover teams like Arsenal have Burnley tomorrow. Like it's not these are not pushover games, and it's not to say that it's completely done. So you can have a little bit of hopium left, but again, like I think it's pretty realistic. It's like a 5% chance right now because you guys still have to beat Leeds, who beat Brighton today,
I don't know.
right?
Even the goals we gave away today were just like, I don't just
Too easy.
giveaways. Goalie
Yeah,
goalie gave the ball away, just and then it was a free goal pretty much. And
yeah.
I don't know. There's no conviction. We made a sub 25 minutes into the game, too. I forget. I forget who. We're on a striker. Yeah, I think it
Mhm.
was Castellanos who we brought on. But yeah, not looking good. I was texting my uncle during the game because he's like a West Ham fan like me too. He just said, "Yeah, we don't deserve to be in the Prem." That's pretty much it with how the performances have been, and I think the fans are extremely upset. And it's going to be interesting to see how now we're going to manage next year with wages, the amount of players and like think about the amount of guys we brought in too, like Nuno with the transfer window as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
In a desperate attempt to just try to stay up, right? Like it's weird. It's weird, right? Like you guys have enough points to stay up last season, the year before. If you can kind of play seasons like 36, I think you guys are at 36 right now. 36 points would actually be enough in a lot of recent seasons, but it's been one of those years where the two teams who are going down, possibly with you guys, just haven't come to really compete to stay in the league. And yeah, it's too bad. West Ham seems like a fixture in the Premier League for a long time, and you guys have gone down maybe in the early 2010s,
I
like
think it
late
was
2000s.
20, my
But
dad
it's
and I
been a
were
while.
my dad and I were talking today. I think it was 2012, last time we went down.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. It's shocking. I genuinely didn't think at the beginning of the year that we would actually go down. I mean, no team thinks they're gonna go down, but I mean, just with how we've been, obviously, what 3 years ago now or 2 years ago,
Mhm.
you win the Conference League, all-time high. We've been battling for top six. It's kind of been there a little bit, and then
Mhm.
1 year, and now it looks like, mm,
I know. And there's been years in the past, right, where it's well, the teams who've come up haven't really competed to that level, so you really haven't needed much. Like last season, like United finished 15th and Spurs finished 17th, and they were neither of them were actually really threatened by relegation. They just kind of fell to that level. So Leeds, I mean, props to Leeds and Sunderland for delivering finally a
and
couple teams that
Forest
can stay up. I mean,
and
Forest
Forest.
Forest has been there for like what 2 years, but again, like Forest also looked like they could have gone down. Brentford, who I'm going to talk about a little bit later on, and when we do our team of the season, like I'm going to talk about Brentford a little bit because Brentford, what the job they did, no one could have predicted that West Ham would be more likely to go down than Brentford at the beginning of the season with all the outgoings, Thomas Frank going, and Mbemo going. Like they had so many guys who were leaving, so many guys to replace, and they found a way to be a really top, like a mid-table fixture in the league. Whereas West Ham just signed the wrong players, and Potter just maybe wasn't the guy
Yeah,
for that.
I'm just, you know what? At least Millwall's not coming up. I know. I'm gonna have to go to Millwall away next year. I
Yeah,
have to. I have to.
that'd be fun.
I
My
can't
God.
believe we're gonna be playing Wrexham though. That for me is just what
Yeah, you guys are gonna have to visit.
grinds my gears.
You guys have to visit a lot of teams you used to play, like Stoke, Swansea, like Stoke, Swansea, those like old kind of Premier League teams that I remember from growing up. Um,
But at the same time, yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see our squad. I mean, I can't. We aren't relegated yet. I know I'm
no,
jumping the gun
but
heavy,
yeah,
but it's looking that way. And I know we were talking before. I guess I kind of want to go over some players who I think we need to sell if we do go down.
go for it, go for it.
Um, okay, so I think Juan Bissaka's got to go. I just think he's just been on a downward trek the entire time. I also don't know his wages, but I just think that's one for sure. Bowen, ship him out.
Who?
Goodbye. Bowen, ship him out.
You think you want him gone, huh?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's reports too of Newcastle are interested in signing him. So
Yeah, there's
I
gonna be the two you listed first. Like those are guys where mid-table to higher table clubs will actually pay you money for them, like decent money for
I
a
just think
Bowen and a Wan-Bissaka.
my biggest thing with Bowen is like statistically, if you look, he actually hasn't had a bad year. But then when you've
No,
watched him on the field, he has been awful in some of these games.
yeah,
And what's crazy to me is like I think now like I don't think he's gonna go to the World Cup now with how he's performed and like the games we've played. He
probably
just
not.
I don't know. It just seems like a lot of backward passing. He just doesn't really have like the drive. And I mean, again, I'm not a professional. I'm not bashing his character or anything
Mhm.
like that. But how his performances have been, I think now the worst part about it. That's the thing with getting relegated is like you're not getting the full value of the player because
No, not at all. And you save money by not having to pay them. And in general, obviously the wages get cut in half regardless of whether you have to like their original wages. I
I
don't know if that's a club wide thing or if that's just like a standard practice.
I don't
But
know. I imagine for some of the guys they brought in though, it's probably a term in their contract. Look, you go down, your wages are being cut no matter what. So,
yeah.
but I think it's,
Who else do you have in the cell?
from a financial standpoint, I think we have to sell Mavropanos just with the season he's had. I think
Yeah.
he's in my opinion he's out the
How
door.
old is he? Is he like old enough to get a decent amount of money for chunk of money
I
for
think
him?
he's 28 or
You
29.
you do need guys to come back up, right? Like there's still going to be a whole host of guys who are going to stay, I assume.
But I think some of these guys think that's the thing. You have a lot of players where I think, you know what, I'm a Premier League player.
Yeah.
I need to be there. I was gonna say I think Somerville's gone as well. Unfortunately, I that stretch where he got injured we're gonna end up looking back on that being like would our season have ended differently?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just with how good he was, and then he's come back and he's been okay again.
Uh-huh.
But I think you have to sell him. Callum Wilson, I just don't. I mean, you know what? That's an iffy one. It depends. Like if
He may
he's
stay. Like he's
he
at an
he
age where he would actually kind of thrive
he
in the
just can't
championship.
start Premier League games. So we saw it today.
That's what I mean. Like I
He
think he'd
can't.
actually do well.
So that one's up in the air. I think Pablo, you're gonna have to sell him. I know we think we just got him, but
Yeah.
just and then I also have send Kilman to Siberia. I don't I don't care.
Why did you guys sign Kilman? I mean, Kilman from an age standpoint, I guess made sense. I don't remember how much you guys bought for him, but I
Send
don't
him,
think Wolves necessarily needed him too much.
ship him out, and for free he can walk. You ask
I've
any
only
West
heard
Ham,
bad things about Gilman. I've
I'll
only
never forget.
seen and heard bad things
What?
about
Where
Gilman.
was it? Were we up 1-0 away at Stamford Bridge? And then we're like, yeah, let's bring on Kilman. And everyone was tweeting, nope, we're gonna lose, we're gonna lose. And
Sure
yeah,
enough,
I don't care, man. Send him to Siberia. I'd be okay with that.
yeah.
I don't send him to even the Saudi Pro League, wherever. Just get him out. I don't care.
If you were to go down, who would you prefer to come back up? Because you already have two going back up in what, Ipswich and we're thinking of Coventry. And then you
uh,
probably prefer Southampton to go up if you had to pick one. Like Hull, this is the Hull seems like a team who has snuck in and played well enough to get there.
but what about this thing with Middlesbrough, where the intern was reporting it? So now
I've heard about this.
I'm seeing,
Yeah.
or no, sorry, the Southampton, or maybe it was Southampton. The Southampton
Southampton,
intern was recording or something, and now I'm
yes.
seeing that Middlesbrough are still training because there's a chance that they may actually end up playing all.
I don't
Unfortunately,
see it.
like that's what about the amount of game? Like it's like games or practices. Like leaks are crazy now. So I don't know. It's also
Yeah.
there's a Canadian on both sides. So I'll be honest with you. I can't really like. I think either way, I'm gonna be kind of happy with it. I think Southampton maybe. I mean, Hull hasn't been up in a while though.
No, and I actually saw something there in the XG table, and this is not like XG is not like the truth of how teams play and stuff like that. But their XG table, I think they're like 23rd out of 24 in the championship, and they've managed to actually get into this position to go
Oh,
up.
bro, now I'm gonna have to buy another subscription.
I know.
It
Is it a DAZN?
no, I don't even. I'm gonna have to research.
Yeah, it may just be DAZN. You may actually save yourself here.
Yeah, I don't know. I imagine just a Leah Miller banger at Wembley, set
Yeah,
Hull right before the World Cup. I mean, Cal Laren, look at the form he's been in. So
he'll be on the team. He'll be on the team. I don't know if he'll start for Canada, but he'll be on the team.
no, dude, you may have to start him with how he's played right, like the last couple months. I don't know. We'll get into that, but
Yeah.
I was gonna say hopefully we keep Diouf. I again that's a hope.
Diouf is good.
Um,
I've actually liked Diouf whenever I watched him.
Walker Peters, I think, is a good championship player. I think he'll actually be
And he's
fairly.
been down there before.
He's been okay in
Southampton.
the Premier League this year, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, Hermanson gave away a goal today, but you know what? I still think eh, the other guy, what's his
You
name?
think he's good enough?
Ariola's gonna go. I just think that ship has sailed. It's
He's not at an
just
age where he can stay.
inconsistent.
Mm.
Um, Suchek, I think you keep. He's just West Ham in and out. I don't know if he's even gonna want to move on. He may be one of those guys. It's like, you know what? We've had a poor year. I want to help them get back up, and then maybe he goes. It's one of those.
He could go back to like Slavia Prague, wherever he played in the Czechs.
Yeah,
Like
and
that, I could absolutely see that happening. So he
yeah.
could play some European football.
I got Freddie Potts as well. I think had a really good start when he first got into the team, and it kind
Mhm.
of dipped off a lot. Obviously, there's like the manager turmoil and all of that stuff, which is tough. So, you know what? I think a lot of minutes in next year could be good for him. And then you also, I think, Kante and Mega stuff. So I think you just keep them as well. But again, this is right now hypothetical. This is
It is still hypothetical, right?
I'm going to be positive. Is it more than likely we're going down? Probably. Yes, but there's still a chance. And if anyone were to pull this off, it would be Spurs.
It would be. It's
It would.
true, right?
It
Like,
would be Spurs, but you also have to be realistic at the same time. And it's been a stressful season. The most stressful I've had watching West Ham, and it's been tough. And I said in the summer, I literally said in the summer, I said another summer of praying that West Ham doesn't get relegated. And here we
yeah,
are, and
here we are.
it's another.
I
It's
feel bad for you guys, man. That's awful. Do you want to get back? Do you want to move on to a separate sort of turmoil?
yeah. That's
Certainly not as bad turmoil, but my God, did you watch the Aston Villa game at all?
I watched parts of it. You guys were just lighting them up. I don't know. Liverpool, I feel like it's just been you guys have just been in the media for like stuff that's going on in the club and not what's happening on the field. I mean, what's been on the field, it's been a roller coaster ride again, considering everything. But
Yeah,
I didn't watch the full game. I saw some of the goals, but I mean Van Dijk 2 goals.
I know, strange. It was strange. I mean, first half we were fine, but again, this goes back to I've probably said this every podcast. We have 30 good minutes in this team. every single game we have 30 good minutes where we're like, oh, well, that's what we look like. And then it's done. Like we're completely
What did
done
I
looking like that.
Where did I text you? I think I just said there was no shot creation and it was just long shots were like your only chances.
Yeah, we
I'm
had a
pretty
long
sure
shot in the first half.
that
We
was
had two
it.
long shots in the first half, and that was it.
Rio was positive, but he didn't. I found they were kind of putting two guys near him, which made it hard for him to kind of like really drive. And like it was kind of he was driving backwards, and there was a lot of those shots that he kind of had to like wrap his body around.
Well, I think we're the easiest team to game plan against. I actually do. Like I don't think we have much to us. When Rio starts, you make sure that you double up on him because you know he's going to try to run at you and be direct. So if you can stop his straight line run, you're good. Gakpo is a complete non-factor. So you don't have to worry about him, especially when you put him in the striker position, because if anyone plays in the striker position on our team, they get about 10 touches in the entire 90 minutes.
What was it? Gakpo and Salah combined for zero shots on target.
Yeah, it's not,
I don't think Rio had a shot on target either. I don't. Who else?
no. No,
Who
I don't
else
think any
was
of our strikers actually got a shot on target. I think most of what our chance creation is work the
Sabozlai
ball around, have a long shot, hope for the best,
and Van
and a set
Dijk?
piece.
Yeah,
Because the set pieces are the two that we scored on. I didn't even watch the second goal because to be honest, I was on my phone on Twitter just seeing everything going on at 4-1 because I was just done watching the game. So I barely caught
You
that
just
last
like
goal.
I don't know. You just don't hear Liverpool losing 4-1. That just doesn't. You know
4-2.
it's or I mean like even just being down that much. It's like with Man City kind of in Arsenal. Like you don't really hear that. So that's where I think like and also it's weird because in the media I've seen they're just like Fabrizio Romano's talking about it slot and all his weird ass interviews. He's like, yeah, we're gonna be here next year, our transfer window, and it seems like it's just they've almost like just forgotten the season already. But then like they're not highlighting the actual like problems and like obviously I'm gonna let you speak onto it more, but I'm just
Yeah.
like. It's fascinating and it's kind of sad actually how like Mo Salah is like in my opinion how like this last season's been and how he's been treated and like how he's leaving I think is gonna what he's gonna regret the most I think
Yeah. I
for
think
sure.
everything's that's kind of dominated the social sphere kind of following the game has been about Salah because of that post, because he was a sub and everything like that. I'm gonna get quickly into the game because the game and kind of the post-match comments that continue to fester in my mind like he's trying to gaslight me. I think Arnie is so good, whether he's being intentional with it or unintentional with it, of gaslighting the entire Liverpool fan base. And whether all of them pick up on it or not, it seems like that continuously happens. He keeps getting the questions, so I can't blame him for having to have a response to it. He's a very blunt guy. He does not, he's Dutch, so as a second language, I'm sure a lot of times if he's coming across, it's going to be misinterpreted sometimes. That's completely fair. He has continuously said that he's going to be back next season. He's going to be back. He has said on multiple occasions that I know exactly what the issues are. I know exactly what the issues are and how to fix them. So don't worry, guys. After every loss, he says the same thing. But after every loss, you're thinking, well, show me, show any Liverpool fan that this makes sense, that we can believe that you actually have the answers to this, because it doesn't look like it. And then when he's been really pressed for it, he has talked about you have no idea. I think this is somewhat a direct quote. You have no idea how good a good window can be. And I'm infuriated that he has decided that the big solvent to this is that he has to go back to the transfer window for another 500 million. This is never how Liverpool's been. We don't play like we've played for a decade, which is fine. I don't expect heavy metal football. I expect some semblance of identity, which is a lot of what Salah's talking about in this post, is that the Liverpool identity's gone. There's no remnants of it when you watch a Liverpool game. Like we're relying on set pieces. We're having a go from 20, 25, 30 yards. We're not being direct at all. Our most direct winger is a child. He's literally 17 years old, and he's the only one who seems to get that he wants to get from point A to point B and as little touches and as little moves as possible. He is by
Yeah.
far the brightest spark in the team to actually watch. And when you watch back that game, we could have lost by more. I've said this about a bunch of Liverpool games. We could have lost by more. We looked like in the 65th-ish minute, I remember tweeting, it looks like it's the 90th minute with the amount of people we're dedicating forward. Because Arnie's only solvent to us not being able to create anything is to throw everyone up the pitch. Like that's all he does. All his subs are is taking off a defender for an attacker and just go for it, guys. There's no patterns of play. There's nothing that can be replicated. So why would we be able to get out of these situations consistently if there's nothing to be replicated? Salah's not in the team. He had 57 goal contributions last year.
Yeah, where's Isak? Where's your 125?
Isak's injured apparently again, which that's been a whole failure. That's not his fault.
He'll be back next year.
Ekitike's injured. I'm actually less inclined to think that's just not his fault because I hate the rotational decisions he makes. This is just turning into a rant.
I was gonna I'll be honest with you. I was just gonna even say with the Liverpool game, like I thought like Rio was like over dribbling a little bit, but you could tell because nothing else was working. Like there's a couple of times he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna try and go at them." Nope. Let me look backwards. Nope. Let me look inside. There's also just like I found like from like watching at least like there's like a lot of like lack of movement. I also feel like McAllister's just been like really like a step behind the pace this year. I don't know if it's like overtired and again that's like this other thing too. I always find like with the World Cup like it happens like these guys just don't have any rest, like genuine rest.
No.
But that will be good for Szoboszlai. But I don't know. It just seems like it's definitely like worrying when your center back is scoring 2 goals. Like that for me, just like, and just in the sense like Cody Gakpo, like you said, when I actually find when he's out wide, that's where he's kind of like thrived a little bit more.
He's the best out.
He's the best when he's out, and that's when he gets his like 5 or 6 shots a game, a couple.
He
like
can
that.
send it across,
but then
he can do his favorite cut in.
He's not good back to goal and just like skill wise. Like strikers now, you either need to be like Holland or Thiago, like bulky and like you can take the pressure, and like Gakpo's kind of like that, but I just feel like he seems like he has like 2 left feet sometimes. That's what like my best description of him. But yeah, I'm with it. I also just it doesn't make sense why like Salah. I don't get it. I don't know why you don't play him. Like talking probably one of the best wingers that's ever played in the Premier League, and you're struggling for that. And yeah, I don't know. I thought Curtis Jones was okay. I wanted your opinion on him because I know there's been a lot of rumors going around with him, and like with him, like he may not create a lot, but like he doesn't give away possession. He's a workhorse. He'll play anywhere, and I think it'll be a real shame actually to watch him go. And I'll be honest, I hope he stays in the Premier League. I don't think like a move to like Italy or any kind of like that would really make. I can see it. Like Inter Milan, I know is there, but I'm just for me, I think he's been good. But yeah, I don't know.
I think it would take too long for me to actually go through every single player and kind of comment on how their season was because for there's so much sound around Liverpool Football Club, right? There is so much pressure with being involved in this club because in a lot of moments, like you have all your eyes on you. There's a lot of fans. There's a lot of opinions, and they're coming through. One of them is mine, and I'm not necessarily like always lenient with this stuff, but I think I'm getting tired of anyone criticizing at least online, criticizing individual performances. Because when we just don't have a defined way of playing, I don't know how we can expect these guys to look that good. The only reason that we'll talk about our team of the seasons. I do have 2 Liverpool players, but it's only because they are thriving in a team that is basically a lifeless corpse. We have such an amount of trouble having a defined way of playing, and we have no one who's taking accountability. Even if there's some sly digs in Mo Salah's post about Arne Slot, even if there is, at the very least, someone from the team has decided to publicly take some accountability. And he hasn't even played all the games. Yeah. He hasn't. He's on his way out the door. He could say nothing. He could say nothing about the Liverpool way and how he wants them to continue on in his absence. There's an clearly he cares for the club, and if he's the one to have to take accountability, like I've never heard Slot actually take accountability for these performances, and it's driving not only me insane, it's driving so many of the Liverpool fans that I meet and interact with online insane. And there is very few people that are still on this whole Slot train that they actually think that he's going to turn this around. I'm nowhere close to that belief. I'm of the belief that if we keep him to next season, he will have to be forced out by October or November. And even if we start the season okay, I don't know how you get the fan base back. Like, remember last week, he took Rio off at 65 minutes. There were boos. There were boos. We do not get boos at Anfield for
No.
our own manager. Like that just doesn't happen. It's very rarely happened.
That's what I was just gonna say too. Is like even with the commentators, or whatever, they're just saying with Liverpool and like the whole slot situation and everything. It's like you don't want to have another thing where it's okay. You give him a whole transfer window. He brings in the players for his philosophy or
Yeah.
whatever, and then you guys blow it up in October. Because like think about it, Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal,
Yeah.
Man United. Like they need you guys. You should be competing for titles every year, like the Premier League every year. No matter
Absolutely.
what, you need to be there. And I just think we've seen with a lot of teams and all of that kind of blowing it up at the wrong time or too late and
Mhm.
what it can cause. But yeah, I don't know. I hope genuinely. I know obviously you have your opinion on Slaw, but if they're gonna like do it, I think you give them like you guys. If you lose your first couple games, I think it's okay. This is just not the way it goes. But then at that point, that's the
Mhm.
problem.
Then, yeah,
It,
because then why would you wait that long, get all his players, wait 3 or 4 games, clearly see it's not working, and then get rid of him? And there's a big issue with the contracts at Liverpool as well, because Richard Hughes, the guys whose job it is to bring in the players and formulate this team and make decisions on, who the manager is going to be, he's out of contract by next year, and
yeah, I
I
don't
don't
know.
know if he stays, and I don't know if I'm going to be completely honest, I don't know if he cares. I
This
actually don't know if he cares whether this works out or not. Why
I
am I
just
unsure of that?
I just can't believe like Xabi Alonso was on the market for how long and just like former Liverpool player, and we've kind of
Could
seen
have done
like
it.
the success of Bayer Leverkusen. I mean, obviously, look, Real Madrid, you have Mbappe who's just running everything from
Yeah.
top to bottom. I'm just kidding, but
The
but like I
dictator.
the
The
dictator,
fearless
yeah.
dictator.
But no, but genuinely, I just think it's crazy that kind of like with the form you guys like. Look, if you guys are winning and like you're first and you're playing
Yeah.
well and all that,
I have
okay,
nothing
what.
to say
But
if
now
that's the case.
and now he's going to Chelsea, which is just so wrong. It's so
It's
many
wrong.
ways.
It makes no sense, and it probably ensures that we never have him as manager.
It's like
And,
Fabregas when he went
and
to
exactly.
Chelsea.
And it's not like I need him to be manager. It's not like I'm so
But it was
desperately
there.
shabby
It
in.
was there.
It's
It
not
was
like I'm
just
so
there.
desperately shabby in that he needs to be the Liverpool manager, but sure as hell is a good fit.
Yeah.
Even if it's not stylistically, like I am less against we can't just bring the era forward and just always do heavy metal football. We can do versions of it though. We can have Shabby with five at the back and take Kirkez and Frimpong, guys he's worked with, and make that work. Like he has the profiles in there to make it work. And another big issue I have is like he this has killed, not killed. I want to say stunted a number of individual careers that I could not have seen coming after he won the title. I don't know what happened to McAllister. I don't know if he's been run into the ground.
Did he
I
have an
truly don't
injury?
know.
Did he not have a bad he had like a there's some injury I think he had. I don't know or something.
Maybe I really don't remember from the summer because
But
I
do you know
feel
what
like he's
this
played every game.
do you know what this is kind of reminding me of? You know
What?
how we were talking earlier in the season how City just don't really like look up to like kind of where they were they've been
Yeah.
the last bit after like the years of
Mhm.
success that they'd been have that like what's happened recently with Liverpool that's kind of like the reminder like I'm getting of like you just feel like you I mean obviously there's Sabolazai's had good form Van Dijk's had good form I think as well but there's just been like a lot of like lackluster performances and like players and
For sure, but
again
again,
again
that's
like
yeah.
it's like the Sobolzai goal or like the like I don't really blame him for the slip. Like it happens, it's part of it. Like you
Yeah.
slip or whatever. It wasn't like a bad pass or anything. And also like how
No.
many times has he saved you guys this year too? So, but I don't know. It just seems like there's nothing's clicking. The chemistry just doesn't. Again, still non-existent in my opinion. If you look at like some teams and how they've been playing and just kind of the
But the,
comparisons, it's just it's so different.
But
So
here's the thing, like we've had the option to have more depth. So if we do struggle with these teams, we have the options to have more depth. We've completely wasted Harvey Elliott's season.
that's
But
embarrassing.
it's embarrassing. It's
Who
actually
allowed that
so
contract?
embarrassing. So he can't play 10 games or
Or
else
they
they're
have to buy
inclined to
him.
buy.
Who allowed that to happen? Why
I don't
would
know, but
I don't
both
even
teams, it's shocking. I don't care whose fault it is. Like you're killing the kid's career by not playing. He played 9 games this season. Harvey Elliott's a talented kid. If he's not playing for Liverpool, he should be starting somewhere else in the Premier League. There's no reason that Harvey Elliott's career should be like this. There's no reason that after one good performance from Calvin Ramsey that we should never hear of him again when we have this many injuries
my
and
my
Connor
own
Bradley's out for an entire calendar year.
my only worry with like a player like sorry, what's Harvey Elliott? It's like it kind of reminds me a bit of like Smith Rowe and Oscar Bob, and they've kind
Hmm.
of like left the big club when they were like Oscar Bob leaving. He was balling out for a while. That
He
was
was, yeah.
so even like Emil Smith Rowe, like Arsenal captain, like he scored some big goals, and like they move on to like Fulham. You have I forget where is Oscar Bob at Fulham too? Maybe, yeah, I think he
I
is.
think he could be, yeah.
It's just one of those where you kind of move and then like it really stutters their growth because I think a lot of these young players why they do end up being so good is you're just around the best for so long and like having the patience
Yeah,
to be like I need to play and like example it's like Rico Lewis. Look at how good that 1.5 year span and now you don't even hear
I
about him.
know. I know.
And that's
And
how
you know
quickly
what?
it's
Maybe
like
Nico O'Reilly has something very similar happen to him.
I hope not,
Maybe.
but like it's
I
just
hope
like
not. He seems very, very
but look at
talented. I'm
Foden
just
too,
saying,
though.
though. Yeah.
Foden's the same, but also I think Foden's kind of taking it on the chin. I think he's a lot more experienced, and I think we're gonna kind of get to see Foden. And you saw, I don't know if you saw his
He had a
assist,
great assist.
and he
My
played
God.
well. He played well.
Yeah.
So again, he's one of those. I hope it kind of ends up going well. But yeah, I just think it's just the demand is so high all the time, and
Yeah.
obviously with younger generations as we kind of go down. This is not bashing one, but like the mentality and like it's a weaker mindset. They can't take it as like criticism is hard
Yeah,
and
absolutely. But it matters.
um,
It matters where you go.
but
It's always mattered where you play, what kind of opportunities you get.
and
So if
also
you're not playing and you're not around like the best,
yeah.
then you could tailspin.
Habits.
It
It's
happens.
habits.
It
It's
happens all
habits.
the time. It happens all the time.
And also,
There.
I was just gonna say this is sorry. I'm like I just thought of this and I don't know why I
Mhm.
didn't say it before. But also like when Xabi Alonso was like available, like he's worked with words. He's worked with Frimpong. He knows how to get them into their and that's what like Xabi Alonso was saying, kind of what he was at Bayer Leverkusen, like the media about why Wirtz wasn't performing with Germany.
Mhm.
And then it's like the roles have kind of reversed now with where he's playing with what's the Germany coach's name? He was the Bayern coach. I forget, but he just said
I
like
know what you're talking about. Yeah.
they're not playing him in the right way, like where he needs to be, kind of like earlier on or whatever. But I just think
Yeah.
that's like another thing of why Xabi Alonso for me at least would have been the smart move. I know your ideal, what you had said earlier was Gerrard finish the season off, then bring in Xabi Alonso, which
I think if you
now
just
you
if
look
you
at it, it
just
should have
did it,
happened. It
if you
should have
just did
happened.
it like if Jared could come in like in December, like I wanted him to, or November, and just ran with them for a season to see what we could get, because
It was done already at that
we could
point.
have guessed this. I told you this at like the midway point of the season. I did not think Liverpool were going to get top four. We're not going to get top four. We may squeak in fifth because we get the extra Champions League spot, but when we originally talked about it, we talked about could Liverpool get top four, and I think everyone at that point in time, if they were not a Liverpool fan who didn't watch them week in and week out, that you thought, of course they're going to get top four. They're the reigning Premier League champions, and they're fine.
So pretty much, I'm looking right now. So Villa's 62, you guys are 59. Bournemouth is 55, but they have a game in hand. So I guess
We're gonna
I'm
get it because everyone
here.
else loses around us. It's sad. Like, do you know how many points typically is needed for top four? It's not 59 points.
Yeah,
Top four in previous seasons is like mid 60s. Some years, I remember the very first year we made top four with Jurgen, Arsenal missed out on top four. They had 75 points.
I know.
They had 75 points.
It
So
just
this is abnormal that we can get Champions League playing like this, playing this inconsistent. It's just it's bizarre that we've stayed this long. And the last thing, promise is the last thing I'm gonna say. There's a reason why Arnie's in, and there's a reason why Richard Hughes is keeping him there. The reason is if that Richard Hughes that only has 1 year left in his deal, in his contract, that means he is refusing to say that this was a bad appointment. And to be honest, they won the league last year, so you can say that. But he's refusing to say that this is a bad appointment and we need to move on from it. What he's going to do next season is hang on to Arnie Slot because he doesn't chatter about the transfers coming in. He doesn't badmouth the people above him. The people above him at Liverpool, all they've ever wanted since Klopp left is the reins. They want to be able to control everything, but it's not going their way. It's not going how they envisioned it. And they think that one more season of running the numbers, doing the data, checking their spreadsheets, and picking the best available players will do it regardless of who they have as coach. Because Arnie will not question them one bit. So there's only one reason that I can see, based on the results and everything that's happened, about how the fan base is completely out of touch with him. They refuse to say that they've gotten this wrong, and they're gonna give it another go next season, so they can actually say, "Hey, look what happens when you're patient." but we are done being patient. As a fan base, I think 75 to 80% of the fan base is done being patient about this.
I think you guys need, I agree with everything you've said. I think you guys need to find your identity, but then you guys also need to realize now that you're losing like your winning formula because
Yes.
or like your championship DNA because Salah's going,
Yep.
Robertson's going. It
Curtis Jones
looks
is probably going.
Curtis
Allison.
Jones is probably going. Allison I've heard is Juventus, and it's like
Yep.
okay, Van Dijk is there, yes, but like if then you look like a lot of like your core players like from that winning time is gone, and then like man, also that's what I was saying too. Like you have Rio 17 left back and Kirkez as your left back. How old is he? 19, 20, or
He's
is
like
he?
23, I think.
But
23,
like
24, I bet.
that's insane. Like that's extremely young, and then like obviously Isaac, I think he's gonna be great once he just needs a season to play. I think that's like a big thing. Words is
He needs a
figuring it
full
out,
preseason, and
but
he
but
probably won't get it because he'll be at the World Cup.
but
But
you're shifting to a whole new identity, and it's like now with kind of the way the tactics and how you guys are playing, you don't really have a new it's hard to make a new identity when like you're trying to stick with like what was working before. But I'm also like you can kind of just see how everyone's kind of like getting pushed out now, and it's unfortunate. But yeah, like I hope you guys are in. I think you're going to be fine for Champions League, and it'll be
we'll be
interesting.
fine, not because of we're gonna like definitely win that last game. We're
Isn't it
gonna be fine
because
because Bournemouth have to play City.
so
That's
yeah
it. Because Brighton
yeah.
lost today to Leeds. Because if they won today, then we were actually in serious trouble. We just got lucky. And if you told us at the
Yeah, you
beginning,
get
if you
56.
told any Liverpool fan at the beginning of the season that the reigning champions will be hoping that Brighton and Bournemouth drop points so we can get Champions League, you'd be like, "Well, is the manager still in?" This is where we're at. We're going crazy because there's no reason this should have been going to this point. There's just no way. Even if it was just to secure top four, Gerard or whoever else, I don't even trust them. Gerard should have been in. Gerard should have been in for the last 4 or 5 months. Absolutely no doubt in my mind. Because at least they'd run for the badge, and that would change things up, and at least Gerard would kind of rotate things in a different way, and maybe even bring Harvey back. I don't know, but at some point you just have to say no Moss, and that time was like 4 or 5 months ago, and
Yeah.
we're just continuing with this chaos. It's just it's insane. There's no reason this should have happened, and it's just sad. It's just sad that we've gotten to the point where we have to talk about it. Like, man, no one knows what they're doing.
Just reminded me I have to do a switch to my team of the season. I have switched. Sorry, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I was like, what is he typing out?
I was
Yeah.
locking in.
So why don't we? I think I've covered as much as Liverpool as I possibly could.
I
Why
want
don't
to.
we talk about a little bit? Sorry, what'd you add?
I was just gonna ask you. I don't think we need to like. I think there's a good chance it may end up getting decided tomorrow, but like title race, I'm kind of curious to see. I know obviously I've been like Man City the whole way, and obviously they've kind of
Yeah.
dropped the ball a little bit since our last like podcast that we had. I
Mhm.
still think there's hope. I think it would be insane. I'm just like Kyle Walker plays for Burnley. Maybe
It's
Burnley
a good story. It's a good story.
somehow Burnley away at like the Etihad. It just or not the or the Emirates. It's just
Yeah.
like written for Arsenal to bottle it.
I,
It's just you lose you. It costs a relegation team. Just costs you the title would just be
I was literally thinking, you know, what's funny? I was drifting off to sleep, and for some reason, I was thinking about Michael Jackson puns about how badly I need Burnley to beat Arsenal because their interim manager's name is Michael Jackson. I was just like that. That's how desperate it's gotten to. Like we can kind of joke about it. Like neither of us want Arsenal to win the title. It's there for them. Like they just need to win the last 2 games. Doesn't matter how much they win it by. They got Burnley and they got Palace, who's going to rest players. So at this point, it's like 90-95%. It would be shocking to see them get out of it. City's done a really good job to position themselves that if Arsenal tie, I think City will just pip them on the goal differential unless they kill Burnley.
goal
But
differential
again,
is.
I think it comes down to the last day because I think Arsenal beat Burnley tomorrow.
I don't.
But wouldn't it be something? That would be one of the craziest results in recent memory. And I'm not going to rule it out completely. Obviously, it's so difficult for Burnley to get anything from that game. But again, what I was saying about Liverpool with the points and how they're 59 points for Champions League, and that's historically low. We have a pretty low point champion this year, regardless of what happens at the end. Like the point tallies are pretty low
Yeah.
for two teams contesting for titles. At least looking back about 10 years. The
Yeah.
lowest I can remember from recent memory is 81 Leicester. And I don't even if I look at Let me pull this up.
That's actually crazy. I
What's the
can't
what's the table looking like? Do you remember what the table's looking like?
like right now.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
who
Arsenal 79.
yes. So they would if they win out, they get 85.
I mean, man, we were like City. I remember they dropped 100. That was just crazy. Gabriel Jesus chip away at
Yeah.
Brentford. I remember that.
City had
Yeah,
100,
I, I'm
Liverpool had
I'm with you on the
99,
note. It's
City had
been
98.
low this year, but again, it's just been the back and forth of Arsenal are like you're like, hey, you know what? They're running away with it, but then they slip up, and then City are like, oh, we're back in it, but then City slip up every opportunity. Like they kind of like it's
Yeah.
where they have like the two games. Like they've kind of it's been weird. City's kind of been like two games behind the whole kind of season. It's felt
Yes.
like, and
Yeah.
it's like they win the one, so then they're like, okay, now if we win this next one, we're ahead of them, and they've been like. They've choked that like specific like scenario I find multiple times. Like
I know. The Everton game was
Everton,
big. Yeah, the Everton game was a
yeah,
huge.
Mark Gay had a bit of a shocker. He had a bit of a shocker.
I
But
know. He
you know
had
what?
yeah.
I still think Man City are gonna do it.
This is
I have to stick to my guns. I have to stick to my guns, and I don't know. It would
you're
be ideal. Man City win the league, Arsenal bottle it, and somehow Spurs lose two games, and we beat Leeds and we stay up. It would just be, yeah.
you're the word I'm gonna assign you for the end of the season for just specifically Graham is hopium. You have hopium for the end of the season. You hope that Tottenham doesn't get that point and that you guys win against Leeds, and you pray that Arsenal can't get over the line because like both of
I
them
take
so
anything,
likely.
any little bit of hope. It's like it's the one meme. I think it's like a Hawkeye meme. It's like, "Don't give me hope" or whatever. It's
Yeah,
kind of,
yeah,
yeah.
literally.
See
Yeah,
that
because
meme,
they
yeah.
look really comfortable to actually finish this off. Like I said, I'm looking at the table now, like 43 to 42 goal differential for City, more goals scored. But again, it doesn't matter if Arsenal don't drop points. If they tie, then we're having a real. You know what? Like if they tie and City beat Bournemouth the next day, my God, like that last day, like it's down to goal differential at
Just gonna
that
be,
point.
just gonna be like everyone's gonna be shaking the whole time.
I know, and City will have obviously the favorable game over that, but then they could just throw out everything they can at Palace. I'm pretty confident Palace don't play their.
No,
They play like
Arsenal.
their second or third team against Arsenal in the
Arsenal
final.
got to think about Champions League, but like they're gonna get belted either way. So or pelted either way. I think by
I
PSG.
don't
So
know. Finals are weird, man. Like we know what the better team is. We know exactly who the better team is, but that
Arsenal
doesn't
just
matter in the
are.
final.
They're just not built for it.
You don't think? I mean, to be fair, we saw it in the Carabao Cup, but again, like that's just the thing we've seen with this Arsenal team is they can build and build, but when they get to that final hurdle, they can't jump over it. That's been the big issue with them. They got there to the Carabao Cup final this season, clearly didn't play well, but that could change through that experience, right?
Yeah,
So
I
they
need a
just keep
break.
on building, and obviously because the loss, everyone's going to think that they may do it again, and probably likely to do it again. But you need to go through these downturns. Like for Klopp's team, we lost in Kiev to Real Madrid. We lost in Klopp's first year, the Europa League final and the Carabao Cup final. Klopp's a pretty habitual like final loser, and he's my favorite manager, and he's my guy. But like you do need those learning experiences, and it kind of feels like where Arsenal are now. This is kind of their year to at least get one of them, maybe two. So if they were to get two, oh
I'm
man,
going into hibernation mode. If they do the double,
I'm
I'll
just gonna forget that club football exists and
the
watch the
amount of
World Cup.
memes and gifs I've posted of that one guy with the bottle. It's just like I
Yeah,
have to. I can't. Their fans just give me the ick, man. Just some of like like interviews
the
I've
online
seen.
there is a portion of the online fan base that is just unbearable, and that's fine. I
What was
completely understand that there's a portion of the
the
Liverpool fan
one
base that
guy?
are also unbearable, but
He
it's
he asked the Arsenal fan, "Are you taking Martinelli or Cristiano Ronaldo at Man United?" He's like Martinelli, 100%.
I know some of these guys.
They're just rage baiters. So I
They're
rage bait
really
them
good at
back,
it. They're phenomenal.
and I rage bait them back, and I also just don't want Declan Rice to ever win another title. Also, just because of that one tweet.
The tweet is great. I think we're at the point where it's like I think there's a decent chance that Declan Rice actually like quote tweets that tweet if they win something because it's so everywhere. It has like I think it has like 100 million impressions on Twitter, which
150 million, I think now. I think. You know what?
oh my God,
Let me double
so
check
many.
that for you right now because it's right here. I was
God, man. Yeah, I think it.
109 million views, 260,000 likes, and it's been reposted 57,000 times.
It's insane. It's actually insane that
That's
that's gotten
called
to that point.
engagement farming.
Well, I mean,
I'll put it like a
post it
picture
so
of it
long.
right here, but yeah,
I
it's
know.
just
I mean, the tweet was so long ago, and they've had so many chances to win it. So like, I get it 'cause people just keep revisiting it. But my God,
for his sake, I hope. Just you know what, even now, yeah. But so I've even just some of the reviews I've been seeing of like West Ham fans today.
yeah,
It's just yeah.
not good.
All right.
You know what I find interesting though is if Arsenal by some means end up drawing one of these last two games and City win out, that Doku goal that he scores at Everton in the 97th minute will basically be a title clincher. And what a goal! Because I watched back those highlights recently, and I was just thinking like, man, I remember them going down 3-1, and I was out, so I was like, oh my God, they're gonna just flat out lose this game, and was shocked to see it was 3-3. When I watched the highlights, that Doku goal that he scores is basically the last kick of the game.
Yeah, I think I was volunteering. I think I was volunteering. Or I forget where I was doing something,
It
but
was
I
like
didn't.
it was a midweek game, like
It was a Monday game. I swear it was a
yeah,
Monday
it was a
game.
Monday game. I
I
mean, we were
think
busy at that
I
point,
think
but
yeah. Yeah, I don't know, but it was I did watch that over and
it's a
it's just
screamer. It was such a nice goal. It was it was literally the last kick of the game. Even if they typed that up, even if the goalie saves that out for a corner, I think the ref even looks at his watch and goes, "I don't know if I
he's
can keep the game going."
Doku's been I won't go into it too much, but I just think he's been so good since he got back from that injury. It's just
He
been
has. We'll get into the team of the season as well. I think we actually could probably get
yep.
into it sooner
Yeah, we
rather
can get
than
into it
later.
right now, yeah.
But you know, I'll save it for that. Doku's had a great kind of 2 or 3 months lately. I think he's played really well,
Yeah.
and going into the World Cup, it makes Belgium more dangerous for sure because God knows they need that replacement for guys like Hazard and
Yeah, I know. This is KDB's last hurrah as well, so
yeah, you got to think
And
that he's
Lukaku probably, I think.
is he playing? Like, is he healthy enough? I know he picked up that injury early season. I'm gonna
Mm,
have to look
I
that
think a
up.
little bit. I think that's why his city let him go, to be honest with you.
Injuries, yeah, his hamstrings were going. That
Just
made sense though.
just whipping the ball too much.
I mean, you get to that age, you play that many minutes for a high
Yeah.
caliber team at that level. It's just gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't we get into? I know, I know that the season is not exactly done yet, but we do have a team of the season to
Good.
go over, and me and Graham both made our own. I'm interested to hear some of the differences on it. I know we probably won't have a ton.
I was gonna say, do we want to do like we each share a goalie, we each share defenders, or do you want to just like one of us
Yeah, like
just
we'll bring up a position and we'll talk about kind of who's meant for that position. Okay, so I mean, I think for goalkeeper we mentioned it kind of before. I think it has to be Raya.
yeah, there's unfortunately there's nobody else. Just the amount of save, even some of the saves he's made, clean sheets. He won the Golden Glove, I think, or Golden Glove with like 5 games to spare. I'm pretty sure.
Absolutely. So and it's like consistency, right? Like he's gonna win the Golden Glove. I'm not sure. Maybe as we get like he won't start for Spain. I think the Spanish coach just said something about that.
Really? Who's
Um,
the other goal? Is it the Barca goalie?
I wish I remembered. I think he plays for like Betis or like one of the higher up Spanish clubs.
I don't
He's
know,
just better.
man.
I think he's better with his feet, and the Spanish coach just
Rhea's
trusts
pretty
him more.
good with his feet. To be, I think that's why they brought him in. That's why Ramsdale got the
Yeah,
boot.
but again, like he's been more consistent overall. And one thing I can't fault him for in the West Ham game, when I don't know if it's Castellanos or Perez, someone's through and has that 1-0, and he makes a crucial save that
Yeah, that
completely changes
was.
the game. Where it would have gone 1-0 to West Ham at that point, it wouldn't have gone 1-1. So
Was it Anderson? Maybe it was Anderson.
he has the consistency. Consistency. He has the more
Yeah,
let's say big saves. Um,
Donnarumma's just. I just think he's probably number two for me. I would say just, but yeah,
yeah,
no one, no one's close to Rhea.
I think Donnarumma made that huge mistake against Arsenal, and that was a very questionable one, obviously. But I
But
think
yeah, even
realistically,
some of the
between two or
saves.
three,
Yeah, some
I
of the
think he's one of
saves.
the best. I think he's actually the best shot stopper, but I don't know if his
Yeah,
performances have been as consistent. I also wanted to mention Dean Henderson because he has a wicked save percentage, and obviously, my team is going to have 2 or 3 guys who are from teams who have not performed well. But I'm a big proponent of like you have 11 guys on
it's
every
just
side of the team.
individual. This is solely individual.
It's solely individual,
You can't
and
look at
no.
All right, defenders. Okay, I'll tell you. I'm going on.
Well,
I have.
let's discuss the formations first because we have different formations.
Okay, I got. I have a 3-4-3.
You have a 3-4-3. I did a
Or
4-1-2-1-2 because I just cannot get myself to pick a standout winger this season. And I'm still kind of there's only one in my head that I actually would pick. Um, but I may slot him in as striker. I literally will decide that one on the fly because I have the rest of them picked. But so you're I guess they would be center backs. Yeah, I think you
okay,
slotted in a left back as well.
so I've switched the left back.
Okay, you have switched left back.
He's okay. Well, and then what do we do? We have one, or we can say one player we thought like could have been there. I'll
Yeah,
say
yeah.
that. Okay,
We'll
so
pick a couple. Yeah,
my three are Van Dyke. I have Gabrielle as much as grinds my
hate him.
gears, and then third I think you have to put him there, but Nico O'Reilly,
Yeah, that's yeah. So
and
I
then
thought we both have him
and
because
then
I have yeah.
notable shout out I have I'm gonna give to Lewis Hall. I think for England, him and O'Reilly are the two you got to take, and I would say Saliba could be there too, but if we go off of just individual performances and what
Yeah.
I've seen, at least, again, this is all based off what we've each other seen.
Yeah, of course.
That's got to be my three.
So it's all opinion, right?
It's got to be Van Dyke, O'Reilly, and Gabriel.
I'm really glad you picked Van Dijk because I do have him too. I also wanted to say because of our formation differences that we're gonna have different players. Um, it's gonna look weird when we both don't have Saliba because I don't have him either.
He's a
But
notable show, but I just
But
think
I'm but I'm also kind of inclined to just throw him at right back. But the issue is like that's just not his normal position. So if I had to go through my defenders because I have a 4-1-2-1-2, I left back. I picked O'Reilly. So I shared it. I looked at the left backs. I thought he performed better than Lewis Hall, kind of
oh yeah,
by a little bit. I thought Cucurella had a good year, but I have trouble picking anyone from Chelsea because it's been all inconsistent. Like there's not been any real good spells that I can really point to, especially past November. They've been super, super inconsistent, and not good enough. But I think Cucurella deserves a shout because I think he's one of the more talented left backs in the world, personally. I just don't think he's had a great all-together year. That's where I think Nico
he's one
O'Reilly has
guy I
like a
would not
breakout
want to.
year. I
Yeah,
think I think he's the left back for me. I had trouble picking the center backs. I did pick Van Dijk and Gabriel, so we both have Van Dijk and Gabriel. I had a real tough time leaving Saliba out, but I think for what Van Dijk and Gabriel have represented this year, that they're the two best center backs. I think there's maybe some Arsenal fans who are a little bit pissed off that I put Van Dijk instead of Saliba based on the defensive stats and like the goals conceded and whatever. All I have to say is that Van Dijk's dragged around a lifeless corpse all season. He hasn't had a consistent center back pairing. He's
no,
34. I think his aerial duels are like 72%. No one's even close to it. He's won 150 aerial duels. He's still the captain and leader, and without him, we would be in that little battle for like Conference League and like Europa League. We wouldn't even be sniffing the Champions League
if you
without him. He is
want,
just phenomenal, and he has 8 goals and 3 assists. Like doing this at 34 is mind-boggling.
yeah.
It's mind-boggling. Like he's so good.
I think too. I was just gonna say I didn't really like kind of go based off like each individual position. I just went off what I thought like the best players in
Yeah, no,
general
that's
was.
fair. I
Yeah,
was
you can
kind of
do whatever you want. Everyone has their own say, and I know if any Arsenal fans see this, they're probably just be like, well, you know what?
yeah.
But
I mean,
it's okay.
I
We
did
we gave
feel
you Ray
yeah.
already. We gave you Ray and Gabriel.
I
So
I did feel bad that I didn't put Sleep in because I actually do really like Sleep as a player. But I did put at right back. I put Uri and Timber, and my special shout out was Munoz from Palace. I don't think they had a good enough year to warrant him in there, but um
yeah,
his stats are pretty decent. He looks like a good player whenever we play him, and we lost 3 times to Palace, and each and every time I thought he played well. So I thought he had a good year. I'm maybe not as consistent as Timber, but I feel like I kind of just I needed to put 2 Arsenal players from that defense, so I put Yuri and Timber in the right back, and I think he's a good player. I think
yeah.
he's a good player. Um, okay, so now because you have 4, and you have 2 wingers, right? So you have 2 center midfielders. whether that's defensive
They're
or
all they're all midfielders. There are four midfielders. I thought all deserved it, to be honest with you.
yeah, that's fair. Okay.
I would say like the three at the top. You could say there's probably one winger there and two strikers. I'm just gonna go off it like that, pretty much.
That's
And
fine. That's
it,
fine. Because I
it
went kind
just
of more
yeah,
positional,
I
but
didn't
these
really
are
do
not teams that are suiting up for like a game. Like they don't have to
yeah,
be well balanced. It's just who
no,
you're
no.
picking for.
Okay, so I have Bruno Fernandes. I just think 20
He has
assists,
to be there.
21. Hopefully he gets it. That would be cool. I mean, we'll talk about who we think our player of the seasons are after, but
Hmm.
I have Declan Rice. I just think
He has to be there.
he has to be there. He's played every minute.
Those are
Champions
one and
League.
two in terms of the actual
Yeah, like
team,
it's
like the individual awards for this year.
yeah.
That's the one and two.
Next I have Szoboszlai. I think just how good he's played this year everywhere he's been. I was gonna even give him a shout out at right back, to be honest with you.
It's funny, right? Like you
For a
actually
while,
could.
for a while he was there, but
And then we just moved
um,
Curtis Jones in there.
some of the goals, and then I don't know if this is really shocking. I think actually a lot of people are gonna agree with me, but I have Anderson from Nottingham Forest.
I don't think we have a single we don't have a single difference out of midfield.
I just think he's gonna get his big move. I don't hope it's City, but I just think also how well he's played this year. If you like, yes, Forrest in 16th place, but again, we're going off individual performances, his
He's been stellar.
composure, his final third balls, his goal scoring, just everything. I think has been insane. I was gonna give a shout out to Gibbs White, who's picked up his form recently. Like
Mm.
I just think he's been
You
he's
could
not
put him in
on
there.
he's
I
not
haven't,
on
but
team of the year for me, but I think he's there. Who else was I forgetting that I wanted to do on? I think Shirky as well. Could give him a shout from City.
yeah,
That was my
yeah.
other one.
It's
Just
weird with the bigger teams, right? Because the bigger teams they do so much chop and changing that sometimes, like Jurgen Timber, I had to look up how many games he started because I
yeah,
like him as a player, but I can't kind of fathom putting in someone who doesn't start enough in the
yeah.
league.
And then that I was gonna say for me, Kobe Manu as well. Just a bit of a shout since Carrick's come in.
Good comeback story. I don't think
Yeah,
for the full
it's
year,
just
but
he didn't play so at the
he
beginning.
didn't, and Amarim didn't like him, so I mean that makes complete sense
But
to
yeah,
me.
but for me those four, I think just I know, I think you said you have the same.
I have the same. I kind of went more positional, but it ended up being the exact same because
We went blind into this, by the way. We did not tell each
I
other
know, I
who
know.
we were having before.
Yeah, I think so. I have Rice at center defense, like at DM. I don't think there's any other guy you can pick for that position personally. I think he's been stellar in terms of being consistent. Um, we'll kind of get into our player of the year talk. I don't think that I have him there very slightly, but in general, like I just think he's been so good. And he can kind of do everything in the midfield. I think he goes forward less than I'd actually like to see someone who wins
Yeah.
player of the year in terms of like being able to do everything at that position. But again, I don't think Arsenal have needed it, and it's not how they set up. So maybe I'm being harsh, but Rice gets in there for defensive midfielder. My shout out for defensive midfielder is Garner. I think Garner's been
Yeah,
really
that's
good for
actually a good one.
I
I
think
hope
Garner's been really good for Everton. I don't think he would get into this sort of team, but I think he's worthy of a shout out. I
does
think
he
he's
start
been.
for England, you think?
I think again, like I think he like this team of the season, he would be a backup, possibly.
Because you have
Again, there's
Rice, yeah, but I think he comes in. I agree with you. But yeah, you know what? That's a
I
good
like Garner
show.
a lot.
Comeback player of the year, I would say Garner wins that. If they did it like the NBA, or like
Yes,
the
yeah,
most
yeah, yeah.
improved or
The
whatever.
MIP.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that might be, yeah, I would give it to Garner for sure.
I think my center midfielders, because I'm doing it kind of more positional. I have Soboslai and I have Elliot Anderson.
Yeah,
I think they've been great. I think the guy who I feel bad for that doesn't get in here is Bruno Guimaraes. I really like him as a player. I think he has good stats at a bad team, and I just like the way he plays. He plays with so much passion. I'm a big fan of how he like. I would love to see him in Liverpool. I don't think it'll ever happen. Um, but a great
yeah,
player. I don't think he gets in this team, but he's worth an honorable mention. And of course, at attacking midfielder, I have to have Bruno.
yeah,
He just equaled the assist record today at 20 with a game to go. Um, as much as I hate his whinging and whining and like I do, trust me, I really do. Like he whinges and whines far too much for my liking. He is everything I love in how a player can be direct, even to a fault sometimes. But I just love how direct he is. He's always looking for the pass that's going to unlock the goal, and that's I can't ask anything more of an attacking midfielder. It goes. I mean, in terms of this era, it goes KDB, and then right under it, and under it specifically, it has to be Bruno. and
Also,
then next
just
year.
man, how like I think that's overlooked with a lot of players sometimes. Like the guys who stay fit. Like he has been
Yeah,
fit like
yeah,
since he arrived. Yes, there's been
yep.
I think maybe a couple in like, but he's played like the majority of every games. And I also think too just how Man United have kind of turned it around a little bit. Bruno Fernandes could have gone to Saudi for. I think he would have been the third or fourth highest paid
I
player.
forgot how much talk about that there was actually,
And
because there
he
was.
put his head down, and again, it's showing now, and hopefully, Man United keep him. I hope.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, I think all reasonable shouts. I honestly think for the most people will agree with us. Like, I think Saka you can't put into this talk just because of injuries he's had this year. I think that's like my
That's why I didn't.
um
Again, that's the winger part portion. I
yeah
don't think this
that winger's
winger's
been
performed
poor
that.
this year.
Yeah,
It's like Salah as well, right? I just think
yeah.
uh,
I'm curious to hear who your winger is because we haven't talked about that one at all.
okay.
Because you have a front three, right?
I
But
have
you
a
have two
front three.
strikers.
I have a front three, but two strikers, and then I guess you could say winger. So my winger is Semenyo.
Okay, that's again
Um,
who I'd pick
Again, how good he's been at Bournemouth. Obviously, how well he's settled into City. Score FA Cup final. He's played every pretty much.
for
I
two
think.
for two different teams. He's been phenomenal this
Yeah,
season.
and also I really respected how he handled the transfer. He
Mhm,
continued to play. A lot of players would stop playing, or they would, kind of not really care. And I just think he's been like great professional. Speaks very well, and
mhm,
yeah, you have to be happy for those people who are just, I think, good people
mhm.
off the pitch as well. Um, I'll do the obvious one. Holland again, just every
Has
year
to. Yeah.
scores big goals, best striker for a reason. Obviously, skillful wise, you can look at okay, he doesn't dribble through everyone, but again, it's how many goals he scores every year. I just think
Mhm.
he has to be there. And then I have my last one is Igor Thiago of Brentford.
Okay, so you did take Thiago too. That's so interesting. Because yeah,
I
we
I've
have a very
watched
similar one
I've
there.
watched Brentford a lot, and I just think he's got his Brazil call up, the amount of goals he's scored, how well he's actually played against some of the other big teams, has
22
been
goals is not easy. And
in
you're
the
like,
Prem.
isn't it his debut season?
I think so, yeah.
People are kind of downplaying it because he plays for Brentford. That's insane.
He's kind of dipped form a little bit, but I was
Mhm.
just gonna and then notable shout I wanted to give. I don't know if you count or Cunha, Man United. Thought he's had a great year.
He's got a good
I've
year. It'll be
really
tough to actually fit him in here, but
I've really enjoyed watching him.
mhm.
Doku since he's been back as well. I think's been really good. And then there was one other one who did I want to give a
I
shout
mean,
to.
if there was a first half of the year award, I think Ekitike would actually take up space in my
Yeah,
mind, but he doesn't, just because he didn't play well kind of past February-ish, and then he gets the big injury, and
yeah.
uh,
It's like Villa. I have trouble putting Watkins there just because of the form he had for a bit, and then like
yeah.
another notable shout I guess could have been for midfield. Two midfielders that I think about it with was Rogers and Shaka. I think as
Mhm.
well. They could have been there, but I just think if you look at kind of how it's been, I think the three I picked, I think in my opinion, are just they're far ahead of everybody, and
We really don't have many differences on this. This is funny.
yeah.
My two strikers are Holland and Thiago. They're Holland and Thiago. They're the two top scorers, but I think Holland's really expanded his. Although I think he's struggled to finish
Morses.
as crazily as he typically does. He's turned provider a number of times that I think you kind of have to give it up to him because you kind of look at him as this prototypical nine, but boy, he's just good, man. He's just the gold standard. I don't know how someone can
Yeah,
overtake him on this list until he has a bad year. This is not a bad year. If this is a bad year, everyone's in trouble. He has 26 goals in the league,
yeah. That's
right? And he's turned provider, and I think he has 8 or 9 assists. If I'm right about that, I think he's had a great year.
um.
Thiago again, first season in the league, 22 goals. I want to talk a little bit more about Brentford, but we'll talk about it with the manager in the month. Um, yeah, I just think you have to put Thiago. My kind of honorable mentions to this, I think Joao Pedro has a really good year, but again, in a Chelsea
Chelsea.
team that is just not working,
Yeah.
and
Yo,
maybe I don't know, he's the best they have there, but
what about like again? It's like I had trouble putting Gyökeres there just because of kind of how he's played in some of the games. I don't think he's been as consistent.
yeah,
I just wanted to give actually a quick shout out which player I'm gonna miss a lot, like miss watching a lot next year is gonna be Bernardo Silva. I just want to say that is the
Oh, I
stand.
forgot to mention him. Yeah.
He could be a mention for team of the year for sure, and I think he's just the ultimate professional. That guy, just a workhorse mentality, and I'm going to miss watching him for sure.
I think because he's delivered a lot of big performances when they've needed it and
He just
not been as
doesn't
consistent. Yeah.
statistically he doesn't show it, but when you watch and see how important, how good he is, City are going to have, I think, a bit of worry trying to figure out how you kind of replace that.
Yeah. And he had a lot of
Um,
big games outside the league, and that was another determining
and,
factor of
and
why
he
I didn't
scored
pick
some
him.
big goals in his time, so I'm not taking anything away from him. But yeah, there's so many honorable mentions this year. I just feel like team of the season, but you
That's a
have to
great one
just
because I forgot about him, and I did want to mention him, and
you
I
just got to
forgot to
get
write
down to it.
it
But
down.
yeah, sorry, I just had
And
to throw that out, and that was on top of my
I mean,
mind.
honorable mention is obviously Saka. We're kind of dismissing Saka because he's been injured, but he has been the best, in my opinion. No, Semenyo. But Semenyo and him have probably been the best two wingers in the league. When
Yeah,
Saka's in it and rolling through it, he's again like I think the trouble that a lot of people online have is that Saka fans constantly try to compare him to Salah, but I don't think you can do that.
they're two different players. Honestly, they don't play the same. There's
No.
never for me. There's never really been a comparison for them, and I don't compare them. I don't. There's
But Saka's a
people.
phenomenal talent, and if they do win something, which again, like I don't want, um, I
He's
would
gonna
be
lift the
I would
trophy.
be slightly happy. I would be slightly happy
He's
for him.
gone through a lot. I still think it was like disgusting the racial abuse he got after that penalty miss. So
Oh yeah,
that was just brutal. And you know what? Yeah, I don't hate any of these Arsenal players or anything like that. You can dislike clubs and all of that stuff, but yeah,
yeah,
I'm with you. And again, another good professional does a lot for the community and stuff. So I
he
think
does. He does.
that's another big thing. And I hope he can stay fit and he'll be huge for England. I think
And my last honorable mention. It's funny you mentioned England. Is Danny Welbeck. I think Danny Welbeck at his age has had a stellar season.
just
Like
bang.
stellar. He has like 12 or 13 goals in the league.
He scores against
Um,
United every game.
he has great
Two
makeup
against
play. He's not
United.
just a scorer. Like he's just the same.
Yeah,
I think
no,
it's been a phenomenal season for him. I think he's worthy of a shout out.
for sure.
And yeah, that's our team of the seasons. I don't think we have. I don't have Semenyo. I think the only replacement there is Timber. I think we literally have the exact same team.
Timber just didn't play enough for me. I don't know. I just
I
found
think he started 32 or 31 or 32, but again, that's the difference of formation, right?
yeah. Yeah, I don't
That's just
know.
different formation. And then
So
we both had Nico O'Reilly, so yeah, it's basically the same
yeah,
team.
I switched out O'Reilly. I forgot about him. Sorry. That's why I had Lewis Hall. I'm like, who am I forgetting? And then it was and then
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
then you said Nico O'Reilly. I'm like, oh, you numpty man. How did you
Now,
forget?
those were the two I was between. I was between Nico
Because
O'Reilly and
I
Lewis
think
Hall.
he's gonna win Young Player of the Year. Nico O'Reilly has to. I don't think anyone else is even
No,
remotely close to him. Just
no.
on, I would say, and then yeah, I
Okay, so let's. Why don't we? I mean, we can talk a little bit about the Player of the Year. I still think it's
do we both agree? I have Bruno Fernandes, Man
I have
United.
Bruno.
He's
I have
just
Bruno.
I just think the assist, how well Man United have turned it around. If they turned it around maybe 2 weeks earlier, are you saying are they up there for the title race? Maybe again, like it's all
Maybe, but again, they're not a
it's
finished
hypothetical.
product.
But I just think with how good he played, how many minutes he's played, how well Man United are actually playing, like
Hmm.
they are actually playing good, and they've beaten Man City, they've beaten Arsenal. He's been a part of it. He for me is just the front runner. Again, notable mentions. I think you have. Again, like Holland's there, the amount of goals he scored. Declan Rice, I would say, is another one
Yeah.
for me. Um, but yeah, I don't know. He's kind of been there. Like who was it? Yeah, John had been mentioning. Yeah, he said Bruno Fernandes for week or like I remember like last. I forget where it was. A couple months ago, he said he's player of the year. I'm like, we'll see at the end of it, and here I am
He would here.
eating
Here
my
you are.
eating my words, and yeah,
This is another case of I think the individual season, because the team is not as functioning because they need him more. It's like a most valuable player thing.
it is. Yeah,
I think Arsenal could be in theory just as good over a 5-6 game span without Declan Rice. If you take Bruno out of United in a 5-6 game span, they fall apart. Genuinely, I just don't. They don't have that sort of firepower in their team. Bruno has, for large parts, carried them down the stretch of the season, and he deserves it.
yeah.
Personally, for me, I don't like the guy. I think he wins too much. I think he complains too much on the field. I think he dives. But
He,
again, like
he's
he's a
a bit of
phenomenal
a
player.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of those guys that complains when like so you touch him and he falls, but then like he's crying for yellows. But yeah, you know what? Again, just goals and assists that he's provided. It's just yeah, you can't.
And maybe it sounds weird. Like I don't. When Jordan Henderson won his Player of the Year, I probably didn't think that as much of an engine as he was, I didn't really think he deserved that award either. He deserved to be two or top three, and he was phenomenal when he was here. But there were more talented, more valuable players to me, at least, in that team, and I'll probably may get yelled at for that one. Um, by
Yeah, I don't.
people online. But I do think that like as good as Declan Rice is, the team could function without him. Whereas I don't think the team could function without Bruno.
Bruno, I don't know if this is a bad analogy, but would you say he's like the skeleton or like the skin almost? If you were like comparing it to like a human body of like that
Yeah.
sense, I would say he's like Man United would not be where they are without him, like without a doubt.
I
That's
almost feel like it's a most valuable player award. Maybe that's my North Americanism coming in. I do
yeah,
feel like
he's
I do
like
feel
the
like the
MV,
best
he's
player of
the
the year
MVP.
should be the most valuable player
You
in
can't
the way
look.
and everyone judges it differently for an MVP. My version of value is okay, what happens when you take him out?
I think again, you can look at it so many ways, like titles and stats. Okay, yes. Or if we
Mhm.
go against, I watched every single Premier League game. Who was the best player? Not based on statistics, but then
Mhm.
for me, statistically, he's up there for assists. He scored goals, and then like also watching, he's also just been the best in my opinion. That's
Yeah.
how I like look at it in the sense, and then also I agree with you. It comes into part of like, okay, we take him out. How are Man United performing? So it's like a little bit of all of it because again, they didn't play in Europe. I don't think
Uh-huh.
that they didn't play in Europe, so like he's playing less games. Yes, I don't think it's gonna change too much how he's played, but like that affects mentally how like sharp you are as well.
Mhm.
So it'll be interesting to see can he continue to do it next year. And I think Man United got to do some work with Casemiro leaving because he finally picked up. This is what the how he's been this year, I think, or at least the last few months was how he was at the end of his Real Madrid tenure. But again,
Mhm.
yeah,
Is
they got
Casemiro leaving? Like for
yeah
sure?
he's done. Yeah, he's I think he's going to Miami. I think Fabrizio Romano said he's going to Miami.
What? Dude, why is there? How are they allowed to do that in the MLS? Just side note, how are they allowed to do this? They have so many like star players.
I think a big thing, I'll be honest with you, I don't think a lot of, I know Messi's the highest paid, but I don't know, I don't think like Suarez and like those other guys, there has to be other ways they can pay them. I think, because I don't really, I'll be
Brand
honest,
deals,
I don't know like the luxury tax or if they're even if they have
planting
that
trees for them in LA.
or who like they're because Messi, you're allowed what, one or two designated players? Is it one or two?
That's I don't even know the number. I just don't know how they keep doing it. They had
I
like
don't know.
Alba, they had Suarez, they have Rodrigo De Paul. De Paul's not taking a pay cut.
No.
I'd say
Well,
that right now.
Alba's gone. Oh, yeah, I think they had Busquets as well and Alba
They
last
did.
year. And they're
So
both
I don't know how
gone.
they keep paying these guys in the MLS. I really don't. I just don't.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Is
But
Beckham paying him on the side? It doesn't make any
I
sense to me.
think it has to do with MLS and Apple because I know
Yeah,
Messi gets his own team now. I'm
it's a
pretty sure
chunk
it's
of the
this.
Apple deal. Yeah,
Oh, dude, he's making so much money from that. I don't even want to know.
probably not as much as Ronaldo because the Saudi money is just egregious, but like
Ronaldo
it's
just
still so
lost.
much.
Ronaldo just lost the Asian. Did you see how they lost the title? The goalie literally, it was like an own goal. The goalie just it was like the last
Was that
play of
the
the
Asian?
game.
No, no, they didn't lose the
No,
Saudi title, did they?
no, this was before though. So like they could have won like the Saudi league or whatever, but
Yeah,
then the goalie literally messed it up on the last play of the game,
yeah,
and then they just
I saw
lost it.
that.
Then they lost the Asian Cup final too.
Oh my God. I like it doesn't change anything for me, but my God,
It all he cares about is scoring 1,000 goals. That's all he cares about. I just
he just wants to get to 1,000. He
if
wants to play
there's
this
one
last World Cup
team,
and try to win it.
if there's one team I don't want to win the World Cup, it is just Portugal. That's
They
it.
look good
Some
too.
of my
They have
friends,
good players.
some of my friends are probably like punching the air right now because I have a lot of Portuguese like friends
Yeah.
or whatever, and Ronaldo.
Oh, they probably love him.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I know. Portugal looks good going in the world. Do you want to go over to the manager? Who's your manager of the season? Like, give me your top three, and then give me your manager of the season.
okay, well, this is tough. This is very tough.
Give me a top five. I don't like, do this however you'd like.
I mean, it's like Arteta's there, Pep's there,
Yep.
Michael Carrick.
Yep.
For me, I'm like, I don't know if this is a hot take, but I just think since he's come in, I know I'm trying to think of when he came in.
Probably
Was it like,
like January.
I think it was earlier than that. So like, I was gonna say Carrick for me, like based off I just think because they've won the
Because I feel like they
Manchester
got knocked out of
Derby.
the FA Cup before he got hired.
I think it was October or November. I don't know. I have
Okay.
him as of right written down. I have Carrick right now just because I go off of the sense of they beat Arsenal, they beat
Yep.
Man City,
Mm.
Kobe
They beat
Mings,
Liverpool.
they beat Liverpool, they've been revived. Just like also like how well they've played and like the structure they have. I think
Yeah.
this is my only thing with bringing him full on like on full. It was like this whole thing with Ole like when Solskjaer came in, like Ole's
Mm.
at the wheel or whatever, and then like he came in just to finish the season, and they bring him full on, and then he crashes and burns.
I know,
So,
but if we are
but
evaluating on this season, I get
if,
the Carrick pick.
but I guess for yeah, like I don't know. But then there's like notable shouts like Bournemouth, the Bournemouth manager, Brentford, Sunderland. Like so, it's so hard.
Yeah, I mean, who
I'm
would
gonna, you
who
know
would
what?
you give it to?
I'm gonna stick with it. I'm just gonna go with Carrick in my opinion, just because of how United. It's all United, just because of
It's not a
Arsenal.
bad shout because like he has made the most difference this
This is
season,
my
I
thing.
think.
Arsenal have just played ugly football. It's just
Mm,
for me, and I'm like, Arteta's had how long to like build this billions of dollars, years. I'm just like, I'm over it.
mhm,
Pep City, you could say have underperformed a little bit, but they've kind of like he's with how much. But then again, he won what? He won the Carabao Cup. They
mhm.
won the FA Cup. Premier League, they're there. So it's like if they do it, I'm like, okay, maybe it's Pep. But then if I'm looking on like what they're kind of dealing with, I'm gonna stick with it and say Carrick just for me with how well they've played, and
Fair enough.
I've enjoyed watching Man United. I can't believe I'm saying that right now,
They're the
but
most enjoyable team to watch in the league right now.
I'm
To
gonna
me, at
I'm gonna
least.
give it to him. But then if you count out, yeah, I'm just stick to it. I want to hear your perspective, and mine was just a terrible take. Now
So
that I
I
think,
no no no. I don't have Carrick in my
or how
top
I
three.
explained it was terrible. I just like from my perspective, Carrick just
I didn't
stands
think
out.
about Carrick mainly because I'm kind of trying to evaluate the full year, but you are correct though, because like he made the most, he was the most differential manager in the league, and right now his team's playing the most expansive, fun way in the league. They're the most entertaining. They've gotten the top. I think they're going to finish third. That's guaranteed. And no one would have picked them before the season to do that, especially with how Amarim started this season. So like that's a good take.
So let me
I
guess.
don't personally have
You
Carrick
you
in the top three.
you have Scott Parker.
Yeah, I've slot Scott Parker and Xabi Alonso.
Yeah.
Um, I know I have. I went a little bit a bit of a different way. I picked Keith Andrews from Brentford because I think
So
when you actually look comparatively, that what was expected of Brentford and who Keith Andrews is, who is a set piece coach
did you say they were
prior to
gonna get?
this.
Did you say they were gonna get relegated at the beginning of the season? I feel like we had a discussion over it was either
I
Brentford.
thought so. I
Was it? Yeah.
definitely thought
It
so.
was. I think it was you or someone said Brentford are gonna get relegated this year.
Probably was because like they lost Embuemo, right? They lost Wissa. They have been struggling to actually figure out who's gonna play at the beginning of the year. They're starting a teenager up front consistently. And I think it's in Krupi. Krupi. He's on
Yeah.
like the scoring charts. They really don't have that many noteworthy players, and you have Keith Andrews coming in, who's taken over a very successful Thomas Frank tenure, and they may finish higher than any Brentford team has ever done before. So I do have to give it to Keith. Personally, I'm going to give it to Keith Andrews. I also think that Andoni Iraola, for the exact same reasons,
Yeah.
is in my top three because they lost Semenyo halfway through the season. They lost basically their entire back line to like big European sides. Um, and here
See.
they are trying to get into a Champions League place late in the season. It's remarkable that they're even here. Like
Yeah.
they lost Solanke in previous years, who was a crucial player for them.
All
Like
these
they,
guys go to Spurs just to get into a relegation
I
battle.
know, I know it's crazy, but like those are my two. And if I have to pick a third, I'm gonna pick Arteta. And the reason I'm gonna pick Arteta is because they have finished. I know they finished second for four straight years, right? I believe that a bad manager or a manager who's out of his depth has this team go off the rails this season. For him to be able to actually keep this team together and still striving for silverware despite the fact getting none is, in my opinion, genuinely impressive. Like I thought that because they didn't win last year, that it was gonna crack. Because remember last year, City fell apart, and then the door was wide open. Klopp had left, right? So
Yeah.
it looked like the only team you could crown that was ready to be crowned was Arsenal, and they didn't win it. So I thought from that point on, seeing how much Liverpool spent in the summer, maybe a lot of people thought Liverpool could go and win again. They thought City was going to be back better than ever. I think everyone thought that Arsenal had lost their chance, and he's taken this team back to the pinnacle again. Let's see if they do it this time, but they have two shots at major silverware, and I think Arteta deserves a lot of credit for that. It won't make me give him Manager of the Year, but I think he deserves to be in the top three.
Yeah, I will agree with you. I know I said the obvious ones are Arteta, Carrick, and Pep, but I'm with you on Keith
I like
Andrews.
Carrick though. I didn't actually give any thought to Carrick because he wasn't here the whole
Yeah,
year.
like I was gonna say, kind of like just some like that's kind of how I was looking at it from like who I enjoyed watching. But if you're going off like full year perspective, then obviously Carrick can't be in there. So I would have had Pep, Keith
But
Andrews,
again,
and
that's just two
and
different
I
ways.
would have had Pep, yeah, Keith Andrews and Arteta. So, but yeah, I'm with you on. I mean, obviously Brentford. I know they tied like 5 games in a row, but they also like I enjoyed watching them too. Watched a
Mm,
bunch of their games actually. But yeah, they have some young guns there, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. And
yeah.
yeah, but I know I agree with you. But we know how it's gonna go, how all these award shows go. It's the obvious one. I
And who
mean,
knows? Because
and
like journalists vote sometimes on certain ones, coaches and players will. Everyone has a different opinion on these
yeah.
things. Um,
So
I didn't pick it with the express knowledge of who I thought everyone else would pick. I just thought, and I don't, you didn't do either. So I just think that
that's why I
I
wasn't
think
sure.
Andrews
Like
is the most impressive from season to season. That's why I went for him. I
he's
think it's the
just
best
yeah
story as well,
yeah
personally.
yeah.
I think very easily for the same reasons could have gone for Areola. What he's done there to actually get them into sixth is just it's bizarre. Um, and I prefer those stories.
16
I prefer
draws.
those stories over teams who have been like I put Arteta in there and I gave the reasoning right, but again, like they are a team
Yeah,
who has more money and more backing and more power and more depth in terms of talent than these other teams too do. And I enjoy when teams with lesser can make more of that situation. That's impressive. So that's why I gave it to Brentford's Keith Andrews.
yeah. I mean yeah. Look at you lose your center back to Real Madrid. You lose your winger to Man City. It's
They lost another one to Juve. They lost Kirkez to Liverpool. Like
and they
they
have
lost four really high quality
16
defenders.
draws this year.
Yeah, they do. And to be fair, like I know the middle of the pack is not super strong, but even if they were below the bottom of the middle of the pack, like I thought they were getting relegated for sure. I thought the team who would have gone down from London, if there was going to be one, if you told me two teams were fighting it out for relegation, I probably would have told you Brentford and Crystal Palace. Neither of them.
I honestly, I said at the beginning of the year, I think I said Wolves, Forest, and Burnley. To be
Yeah,
honest,
Forest. I think Forest was a. You know what? This is outing me, but the season before I picked Forest to go down, and they finished in the top five. So there's that.
yeah, I don't know. I have a good friend of mine, Tom, and he's from Nottingham, and he's like a diehard, and he even said when it was like getting down to between like West Ham, Spurs, Leeds, and Forest, he was like, I think Forest is gonna go down, and man, they won
They turned it
away.
around.
They've won games. They've been fun to watch, and I mean, I know Aston Villa pumped them in the what was it, the Europa League or
Mhm.
whatever, but they still a good run there. I honestly think with how the season's kind of ended and all of that, I think you know what they can move on to the next. But they've been like similar to
Absolutely.
Chelsea.
If the owner lets the coach stay for more than 3 months, I think they have something good going.
Yeah,
Like they
we
need
should
to.
have West Ham should have gotten Sam Allardyce 2 months ago, but you know what? It's okay.
I like Nuno. I actually did
It's a
believe that they
shame.
could stay up with him, and I think that if they go down, that they should try everything in their power to hold on to Nuno personally.
Yeah.
But again, like so many things change in a team that I don't know. It's always a tough test to get right back up because you're expected to get back up, and that
Yeah.
expectation can sometimes drag performances down. Like you've seen with Southampton and like Leicester going down to League One. Like it could be a slippery slope. I don't think you guys are in too much trouble in terms of financially, but we'll see. And again, you guys are not down yet, but
We need to get
it's
back up
looking like
within
that.
the year though, without in my opinion, from what I've had
Yeah,
experience wise. But again, you don't know the players you lose and the players you keep, and it's I don't know, just it's man, London. You have London Stadium, and you're not even in the Premier League. It's just
I know.
you know
I
what?
know.
Maybe we'll get out of there. I wouldn't say no to it. I could guarantee you 9 out of 10 West Ham fans would be cool with leaving London Stadium. I'm telling you
Yeah.
right now. Yes, without a doubt.
Wow.
It's
Is
just
that
it's
how much London Stadium's hated, huh?
Well, the atmosphere is awful, and then just how the stadium's designed with like the track and
I
like
like when there's a I would like when there's a
But the problem
bowl
is
because the
it's
sound
not.
stays in.
The problem is it's not like a bowl. Like Upton Park was like this. I loved
Yeah,
Upton Park,
yeah,
but
yeah.
the problem with like it's like this.
Mhm.
So you go like up.
Yeah,
So then like
it is because
when I
it's
went or whatever, like it's so far, and like we weren't
yeah,
even
it's
in
a
like the top stands.
I do hate that about certain modern
'Cause
stadiums
I've
is
seen
they
it
put you
like
so far from the action.
when I watched from perspective an away as an away fan because that's how we were only able to get tickets, and like that was the last game of the season when they played Everton. They beat Everton at home.
Hmm.
And I remember like I was closer. I'm like it still kind of feels like it's just the angle of the stands is weird. It could
Yeah,
just
it
be
feels
me,
very
and
far
this is
back
like
where it's like,
it's not like dire, like but yeah, that's just my opinion and experiences I've had. And obviously Upton Park was just the atmosphere there was like how loud it got there. It's never felt like that in London. And I also think West Ham's turned very corporate in a lot of ways, kind of like City, in the sense of
a lot of clubs try it.
tourism.
Yeah.
Like tourism's like a big push, and that's where they have so many different club levels and all of this. And that's where like yeah, I don't know. You go champ. That's why like when I went away to Millwall, when I watched Millwall play Sunderland, like they may have some like fancier stuff, but like it's diehard fans and like that's it.
Yeah.
But Millwall away would be an experience.
That would
I'm
be
tell
crazy. And you
I'm
guys will,
telling
yeah,
we
you guys
will
will face each other if
pack.
you go down
But
twice.
the only thing with that though it would be kind of sketch is like the stadium's like a kilometer and a half away from the station, like the train station or whatever in England. It's like a long walk.
Yeah.
From what I remember, at least my dad and I, it was like at least a couple kilometers, which is fine. But like,
Bring a change of clothes, man.
oh yeah, I know you never wear the jersey on unless you're
No,
yeah.
I have a quick story about jerseys. My buddy John, who's doing he's teaching English as a second language in Peru, went to one of the Peruvian like biggest games of the season. Like I think it was Cusco versus someone else. Cusco versus like Lima. He bought both kits of either team, and I'm like, don't tell anyone you did that. That's all. Like that's the easiest way to get stabbed in a country like that. Are you serious? You're gonna buy both jerseys?
He's just
That's
wearing one
insane.
over. He's wearing one over the other. He gets jumped, and he's just like, "No, I'm gonna take this one off." See, I was just kidding.
Yeah, he told me he got some eyes for it, but I was just thinking like that. I like tourists have been stabbed for way less for at a
Yeah,
soccer game like that. Are you kidding me? Oh my God.
I think I have a Nottingham Forest kit. I think I have a Barcelona kit. My parents
Where'd you get a
got me.
Forest kit from?
My friend Tom when he went, he got me one.
Oh, that's cool.
One of my, but you may not see me wearing it.
No,
I couldn't. I just could. I couldn't do it today. I wore my Conference League shirt,
no.
champions in the last one, and we're 2 weeks later. And now we're probably getting relegated. So, how the tables can. But again, we could be here next weekend, and I could be.
I know, I know. Speaking of next weekend, so I think we have, in terms of the format of this podcast going forward, we will have at least one, I think one more kind of covering how the season ends in the Premier League, maybe a little bit of like a lead up to what the Champions League final is going to look like. But then we're going full World Cup mode. We're going to have a couple previews on here for you guys, and just breaking down all the groups. I think both me and you are done with club football for a little while, so we're excited to start the World Cup stuff.
I've lost a couple years of my life, but yeah, no, I'm excited. I want to go over like the team selections too. I think it'll be interesting to see some of the guys that have been left out, which has been a bit shocking so far. I know a
Because they're
couple.
coming out this week. Like a lot of them are coming out right now,
Yeah,
which is
so
huge.
I think we could even cover a couple of them next
Yeah,
week. We'll see
yeah,
if they've all been
absolutely.
released at that point. But yeah, I'm excited to go full World Cup mode, and it's gonna be a
One
great.
one more week of club football, and then we're ready to go. I'm so amped up for the World Cup. I need
I
it to
can't believe
start.
it's come this fast. It feels like yesterday.
What's the date? Yeah, we got it in like
It's what June
25
14th.
days. Yeah,
June, yeah. So I need Alfonso Davies to get fit, please.
I
But
know.
but yeah, that's just a whole other topic, but for another day. But yeah, no,
Another
I'm
day. Another day.
all World Cup, and it'll be good because West Ham have stressed me out, to say the least.
West Ham and Liverpool have killed our passion for anything at this point.
Yeah, I think you need to
Yeah.
break.
So we have the World Cup coming up. We're gonna go over. We're gonna probably do a little bit of predictions, some brackets, talk about the teams. I'm excited for it.
And I think even we could like focus in on kind of the teams we're like really looking forward to like watching. Obviously, Canada is a big one for I think
Yeah,
both of us.
and
I
break down
think,
the favorites too.
yeah, I think that
Because
as well, and England for sure. And yeah, we can get into everybody.
all right, thanks guys. This has been podcast number 6, and can't wait to see you next week when West Ham miraculously escapes relegation.
That's it. Ending it on that. Peace.